What's up guys, Jezza Plays here. Welcome back to an exciting new series. I am flying the camera around everywhere today. We're going to be playing a game called City Skylines, which is a city building game. It's a bit of a sandbox, you can sort of do whatever you want. But there's so many challenges with it, and you'll see them throughout the series, all the challenges that I'm going to face in my perfect little town. Now the first things first is we've got to build a road into our town. So for some unknown reason, you have to build a standard 2-lane road before you can build anything else, which is a bit frustrating at times, but it's okay. So what we'll do is we'll get straight on. Now I'm going to build this to be 10 long. Look at that. And we're going to get this connected in straight away. So we'll go 5 here. We'll do this one though. So 5 and in, and then same on this side, 5 and in. And then we'll of course turn that way, and that's so that they can come off the main motorway here and they can come into the town. I think that's going to work quite well. Now I am using a few mods today, and one of the best ones I'm using is the roundabout builder, because we're going to have a big roundabout here, and that is where you can choose whichever lane you want or choose what type of road you want. If I click on free cursor mode, it means I can put the roundabout wherever I want, and I can choose a size. So the size is going to be 100, and that's just going to be plonked right there. And that is probably going to be one of our main roundabouts for the entire town. And what we'll do is we'll just set, oops, hold on, no, yep, set that straight in there, like that. And that works perfectly, that's a nice straight road in. What we now need to do is sort out where our residential is going to be. So for me it's all about lanes and mathematics when it comes to the traffic lights, and I'll show you what I mean by that later on. But a quick one is what I mean is you've gone from a 3 down to a 2. This is a 2-lane road to a 1. Now when you come off, you want to make sure it's still just a 1-lane motorway or a 1-lane road. So we're going to turn off toggle snapping because it's annoying me a bit there. A 1-lane road going, we don't want it to go too far, and then that's when it turns into a 2-lane afterwards. And that's for ease of traffic management later on. And we're going to spread this road, and it's going to sort of triangulate around, and we'll finish it there for now. But this is going to be one of the main roads, but not the main road. And we're going to have sort of cul-de-sacs facing off this. I think that'll be quite nice. What we're also going to do is have a 1-laner coming off this side. And that's going to go down that way. And we're going to have a few dirt roads coming off. In fact, one main dirt road coming off, which is going to come off from here. And it's going to push around down there, and this is for a bit of our industrial area, for our main utilities, let's say. So the main one is going to be our eco inland water treatment plant. That's going to sit just there, and then we're also going to have our water, which is going to go, we'll put it in the middle of the roundabout for now. I think that'll be quite nice. Now I'm not 100% sure what it's like in the UK, but I know in America, bear in mind I live in the UK, so I don't know how I know this, that the water pipes go under the roads and they hit on the left hand side, the right hand side, which is kind of what we're formulating here, but we're just going to stick them to the roads, and it's just for ease of management really, more than anything. So now we've got our water and our sewage plant in and linked up. We're going to sort out some electricity. We're going to go eco, I think, for the entirety of the series. So let's, as you come in, have one there. And we'll bring down the power lines there, and we'll have a power line over here. Oh, slope too steep. What? Go to there. Perfect. And that'll connect that up nice. And later on, when we need to, we'll have some. Oh, do you know what I should have done? I should have really moved that onto the edge there, but it's okay. We can solve this issue. We're going to have some landfill sites around here as well, and I think I'm going to have the landfill sites over here. So that's not for now necessarily, but it's going to be needed. And then we'll do that, and we're using dirt roads because it's in such an awful area where you've got, you know, treatment plants and landfill sites. So you want it to look okay, especially if we keep it up in them trees over there. So what we'll do now that we've got electricity, we've got everything we need, all the basic necessities, is we're just going to put a few roads out just over here, and this will just allow it to continue, sort of thing. Yeah, we'll just allow us to start building, just allow our milestones to come on, you know, and we'll just sort of get sorted. We're going to have a nice road going down along the beachfront, with a few bits coming off, and we'll connect that back up to there, like that, and we'll have a cul-de-sac coming on here, and I think we'll start from that. I think that's quite nice. So I've got another mod here, which is a suburban cul-de-sac, 20-meter lane, and that just means that houses can go around it, and it looks quite nice. More realistic, apparently. But I don't know about you, I think a cul-de-sac's a cul-de-sac, regardless. So what we'll do is we'll fill in a bit of residential here, just allowing people to open up. We'll put a bit of commercial on the seafront. And look at that, perfect. That for me will do for the beginning. Including the 2 shops here, because commercial will want to come in. Now another mod we're using, just finish off these water pipes, and then I'll explain the second mod we're using. And the second mod we've got, which is this, the version 11, because it's the best one in my eyes, traffic management mod. And what it does, it means you can sort all of your lanes out. For example, people coming off here, they'll all end up turning into this lane here. I can guarantee it, the right lane, because they tend to. Now on the right lane, you've got people who want to be making a U-turn, and you'll have people want to go straight forward. So you'll have a massive queue going all the way down here with just one lane, all because they're filtering in. So if we don't allow a U-turn and tell people that they have to stay in their lanes here, like that, and like that, and if we do the same here, whereas you can tell people that they can go in any lane that they wish. In fact, yes, any lane that they wish, that's right. And then you come back even further and you tell people that they can transfer lanes here if they wish. That means that people change the appropriate lane here. They know that there they can go in any lane they wish. In fact, which probably means that's not needed. In fact, it's not needed. So we'll just delete all that. And then we'll do the same here, where we're telling people that if they want to go in any lane they want, they can. And it just keeps the movement of traffic going, especially on roundabouts, where people in this lane here, in fact, yeah, people in that lane there have to go to this one. And that's so that it's all about that mathematics. So we'll have people coming from a 3-lane down to a 2-lane. This here will force everyone in this lane to here, and then this will force everybody to there. And there is a reason I'm doing that, because look how straight that is. There's no crossing or anything at this roundabout. There's no road for error. Traffic will be perfectly smooth. And then in between each junction, because at this junction we're going to do the same, but this is where it's right here because it's a 1-lane and a 2-lane. It's just because this is a main highway, I've had to bring it to a 2 to then go down to a 1. And then we do this, and that means that at this point here, regardless of whether these lot want to come off at this one or this one, they will be forced into this left lane. This left lane is forced to turn off, whereas if I tell them there that they can change lane, they will. And that's perfect. And again, we'll just have the same node system here. These are called nodes, by the way, these circles here. And that's perfect. And then we'll have another set of nodes here, so they're in between every junction. So we will have another junction probably coming off down around there. And that's what that node's for. That node's for in between these, that node's for in between these. That node is technically for in between these, although I've explained it'll be used elsewhere. And that means we can just have this. And that'll do me for now. So we've got water coming all the way down here, which is good. We've got electricity everywhere needed. In fact, that electricity could just get away with sitting there, and we'll get a refund, I think, back on these. Yes, we will. And what we'll do is we'll let our town just fly up a bit, and we're going to monitor this and wait for our first house to develop. Okay, so that's a slight issue, is that we don't have any electricity going to our water. So our first house to be successfully built is, oh, it's a bit of a tie, but I think it's this one here. So you are called first house. Congratulations. And now I need to find the residents of that, but we'll do that in a later stage. These people are unhappy, and I don't know why. Probably because they've got no electricity. That's probably something. Just frustrating because, hold on. Now they do. Now you see, I didn't even need to add that because that would have been connected there, but it's fine for now. And they've all got water and electricity. Now what we are going to sort out is our budget first of all. We're going to put our water right down, because our water is one of the most expensive things. So now I've put it down, you only have about 15,000 meter cubed of water consumption and sewage production. And when you put it up all the way to the max budget, it will be about 60,000. Now people are starting to move in. We need to find somewhere for them to work. So this is one of my most frustrating things about this game, is that, in fact I can change that to this and that. One of the most frustrating things I think about this game is that the industry side is quite difficult to play with. And what I mean by that, hold on, we'll just set this up like that. And then we'll put in a few. And what I mean by that is the industry early game is really bad for the environment. The pollution is unbelievable, so no one can live anywhere near it. And if I put it here, for example, as I have, these will be permanently damaged with pollution. So we try and keep the beginning pollution or the beginning industry area to a minimum, because later on, hold on, because later on we'll use another set of industry, and that'll be quite good. And I'll show you all about that in a bit. So we've got that power line there. Now power lines eventually will become more redundant, which is good, and we are waiting for that. But for now, we've just got to sort of bear with it. Like, I could actually build that going over there, which looks better. Get rid of that. Well, it looks slightly better anyway. And our electricity is nice, so we're still producing enough, and we are going to slowly start making more money. And we'll get more money when we hit our first milestone as well. Like, what do you mean there's no? There we go. So now we've got jobs for people. People will start coming into the town. Although people live there, nobody will have driven in yet. Now I'm waiting for that. So they're going to come all the way down there to come in. We are open, guys. Make a building historical if you want. But its visual appearance will be preserved. Ah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Oh, what's this? No. Awful. Traffic lights are awful. Ah, people are starting to come in now. So here we go. So first home was somewhere around here. We need to wait for the person in first house. And then we can name them first person. Another thing with this mod is you can put parking restrictions up. So I'm just going to put parking restrictions in all the residential. Because if you have a car parking on either side, what that means is that that lane then actually goes to 1 instead of 2, because the car takes up half a lane when it's parked. And that slows traffic right down. Now it's not going to be a major issue in these small little areas, but it's not worth the risk, is it? And we've got another cul-de-sac here. I think will be quite nice. Look at that, that is perfect, that. It's all about keeping that balance of commercial and residential. In these areas anyway, in the residential areas. In the other areas it's not really a big issue. It's not really a big concern. Now people are starting to park on here and I don't think I like that, so let's stop that. And it doesn't really affect anything if I stop the parking. And that's because, hold on. It doesn't really affect anything, and that's because every single home comes with a driveway which can hold 2 cars. Every business can hold the amount of workers plus more. I can't remember the exact figure, but it is more. So there's absolutely no need for people to be parking. Not on main roads as well. See, we've got traffic lights here, so we're going to have to get rid of them. Traffic lights slow everything down on this game. That's just a fact, unfortunately. Not enough power, and that's just because we are using a wind turbine, which just physically doesn't have enough power. That's it. So if we put that there like that. So now we've got one either side, producing 6, which is, it's not the most, granted, but it'll do. We could increase that and it would produce more, but them 2 there will do for now. And then what we'll do is we'll bring up a little wind farm. You'll notice the ground around here is already starting to get a bit boggy, and down here. Oh, it's awful. And we'll probably put a few more up there as well. And when this all turns into a nice area, when we specialise our industry, haha, we've hit our little hamlet. When we specialise our industry, we can have wind turbines going across there with a bit of forestry in there. I think that'll be quite nice. So now with our first milestone that we've hit, our aim is going to get the first 2 milestones done this first episode. But with the first milestone hit, I can now put in things like a medical clinic. And I can put in our waste, our landfill sites. So we'll put the first one, ooh, out of city limits. That is a bit frustrating. So I need that more across this road. There we go. And what we can do, or we can't now actually, is we will eventually just throw loads of trees around here because nobody wants to have to work here. Look at it, it's disgusting. So they're asking for a bit more industrial to work in, and you have to put them down because otherwise nowhere has anywhere to work. And I do understand it. It's just, in my eyes, very frustrating. But it is what it is. So what I could do really here, if I wanted to, and I'm going to just for now, but it's not really a necessity, is tell people here that they can change lane, and that forces people to stick in the right lanes here. And make sure that no U-turns happen. I think that's the big thing. So people over here, for example, can change lane to whichever they need to change. And then this lane only for there. And this lane can actually cross over to there as well. So there is a bit of crossing there which is annoying, but it is what it is. We are just on the edge of water, so let's just increase that a bit. But you'll notice even with the least amount, it's still costing us around the same as healthcare, which is one of the most expensive things in the game, healthcare. But it's very important, so we have to stick with it. You'll see all these cars parked up there. At the Laurel Residence, at Summit, at Hawthorne Residence, which is there. They are the owner of Frank's Fish Stick Factory. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So what you can do, if you like the look of a building... Ooh, no water over here? No water over here. If you like the look of a building, you can make it historical. And that means that that will always look like that. It'll still level up, but usually and typically when they level up, they change with their appearance. But it means for that it wouldn't. So what we are going to do is we're going to bring this a bit more to the left. And then we're going to have this one follow it down and around. And that can sort of sit there for now. And that means we've got this whole area here to build. So what we will do is we'll have this following the beach round. And we're going to put a park on or around the beach at some point. But we're also going to put a park within this area. So if I get the layout of where our park's going to be, and I'll show you parks in a bit more in depth once we actually unlock them. So what I'm doing here is I'm just drawing the outline of a good sized park that we can start off with, really. Just while we've still got a bit of money, because later on in the game, that's quite a sharp turn that, but it'll be okay. No, I don't like it. I don't like them sharp turns. Later on in the game, parks do become an absolute necessity. They really do. Yeah, so we'll bring this all the way down, just in line with that. And what we can do, is we don't want them, is that can make a direct turn over to there. And that means we've got a nice cul-de-sac on the edge, which will be quite nice. And this will all be residential on the edges. But this big area here is going to be our main park. Main park for this district. And I'll show you districts as well in a minute. I'm just going to ensure that we've got just enough money to connect these pipes. That's good. And we'll pull the bit of residential in this little cul-de-sac here. Perfect. So we've got a nice little town going here. We are making a bit of money. We're not doing too bad on anything else really. I think our main focus at the moment is just going to be hitting our next milestone, because I want to hit the next one and possibly the one after, but it might not be a possibility. We'll see. So at the edge of the park, like here, here and here, we can do this. That's not an issue. And we've got obviously all this residential down the side here. Although this one might have to require a key, which we haven't unlocked yet. But yeah, this is going to require a key to go down there. And then around the outside of the park, we're going to have some houses as well. Perfect. So this is going to require us to do a bit more with our water. Water is very expensive on this game. It really is one of the most expensive products, but we could reduce that a little bit, I think. And we could get away with that. Electricity, we are just on the cusp, so we need to increase our electricity. I think decreasing our water, like we could even decrease it a bit more actually there. And I think it's that finding that fine balance at the beginning, so you're not spending too much. Because otherwise it's impossible to get started. It really is. So they're requiring and asking for a bit more commercial now, which we can solve. We can do that for them. I am conscious that there's only sort of one way in, and that's this main road here, and we need to join that up. So what we will do is we'll do this road here, we'll join up to there. We don't need traffic lights, which is that one. And that means that anyone down here can still take this main road. This is going to be our first and main road for this bit. We are also going to build a little area around here. And this is going to be our nice area over here. I think our very nice area. We're going to have shops on the front with a few suburban at the back. We're going to have a nice forestry area here, so we'll have rid of that. And hopefully we'll have a recycling centre instead of a landfill site. So we will do that at some point. Ooh, schools we've unlocked as well. I didn't even realise. So people are going to be asking for schools and we just can't give it to them at the moment. So this is going to be one big park like I've mentioned. We've got this little bit in here. That's a cul-de-sac, so there's nothing I can do with that. It might be worth... No, we only need the two main joins, I think. Although that does now require a heavy amount of traffic down here. So let's get this done a bit better, I think. So let's connect that. Yes, we've hit our 800, which is it's also more money. There's so many benefits to it. So we need to get rid of traffic lights. Traffic lights are, like I keep saying, the enemy. They really are. So let's get these sorted. And let's get a bit more commercial on the sides here. Commercial on the main roads is always a good thing. Now we can put a residential on this side and keep this bit here commercial. And I think that's quite nice to leave it like that for now. What we will do actually is this is quite a big area for a park. It might not necessarily need to be this big. So we'll corner this bit off here and we'll put a nice little cul-de-sac in there. Just for a bit more residential. And then what we can do after this is we can go through everything that we've just unlocked, because we've just unlocked more stuff there. Get a bit of... You want your sort of corner shops near you. You don't want to always have to go to the high street. Okay, so what we've unlocked there is the fire department and the police department. So you've got fire here. Now we're going to put fire department again on the main road right next to the police department. They're going to work together and they're going to be next to each other. And now we need to save up for that 7,500 for a school, because schools are quite important. And actually, you know what I should have done? That cul-de-sac shouldn't be there. And this isn't big. This is wrong. What we should have done, and we're going to do now, is we're just going to put that in there, like so, and then we're going to have a cul-de-sac coming out here. Oh, this is going to be interesting. So I have just again decreased the size of the park. There's a reason for that. This is going to be a little cul-de-sac with our schools on. So school there, a few shops next to the school. The rest of this is going to be residential, increasing the people we want to bring in. We're hoping that industry doesn't require too much more attention for a while, because we have got a lot of industry. So school's going to go there, and probably, to be fair, because we've got a high school as well we need to bring in. So we'll probably have a high school on the same size, or same side, sorry. Okay, that's perfect. So we can let these all go, however they need to. You'll notice with me editing a lot of the roads, it doesn't always necessarily stick. And we are running out of electricity. But that's okay, that is what it is. Now what we are going to have to do, which I didn't want to do this early, is take out a loan. So we're going to take out quite a big loan. Because electricity is becoming a slight problem. And by slight I mean major. But that's okay. So that can just be cut off now. So actually what we could do as well, to try and make this work a little bit nicer, is have that going down there. which negates the need for that. And that is, there's nothing I can do about that one for now. Because we're just going to try and recruit, you know, sort this out. Not enough workers. Okay, so now we've got a big loan. We can get our school in place. School's going to be on the most edge possible. And that keeps people happy. Now, when it comes later on, we've got a number of things we can do for industry. We can have offices, which is what we really want. And we can also have industry, which is what we really want. Now, in order for that to happen, we have to have educated individuals. Educated individuals depends on the number of schools you've got, of course. So that's why schools is quite a big thing. So they should all now be covered with water. No, they're not, because we don't have enough water, full stop, because we keep decreasing the budget. Now we've increased the budget, that should be okay. So what we'll do is we'll fast time this just for a bit. Not for too long though. Get rid of things like these ugly things in the area. That's this. Apparently that's quite important, so we'll keep that. And we'll sort of just let it run and make sure everyone's getting everything right. We can focus on the traffic here. Another thing is people often walk to school. So we could set up some little cycle lanes and ways for people to walk around, you know. Put a nice big area. It could have a big park here, actually, and that park could be a way for people to walk backwards and forwards to work. The idea for me is if I get a bit more commercial up here, this park could be a way for people from there to walk through. What we haven't done is set up all the parking restrictions, which will take a few minutes, because there's a lot of them here. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. This'll do me. Just what I need. So we'll do this, get this all sorted, because you notice all these people parking, but there's areas for them to park. They just, look at them, it's now filled up the car park. That's all it does. It just fills up, and all the commercials also have their own car parks. So I don't really know why people park on the roads. I think it's a frustrating thing that you've just got to deal with. And that's why I like that there's a mod for it. I like how well this game is to mod as well. So we're up to 50,000 now. We did take out a loan obviously, but we're not far from our 1300 limit. So we're just going to wait until that hits. And once that hits, then we'll have a nice little bubble in town. We do have a bit of demand for things, but there's our zones down. So what we could do is dezone that and that, turn that to a full commercial area and that to a full residential area. We don't really want to be building too much more commercial on this side, because this is our main street, yes, but we don't want it to be too busy. And we're running out of power again. How are we running out of power? Consumption 28, production 30, so you shouldn't really be running out of power. It is at full capacity. We'll throw down another one. And that's the problem with them, is they do rely a lot on obviously the wind. These are producing 10 though, so that's 40. So they're producing the same amount as a core wood. Now they did cost, there's four of them, is that right? So they did cost, saying that, 24. So they only cost a bit more, and they're quite economically friendly, aren't they? I still can't understand what your issue is here, guys. You are literally getting power. There is no reason for you not to be getting power. Not enough electricity, but you're lying to me. There is. The consumption's actually a third less. Right, okay. This issue needs to be sorted though. But how can it be sorted? That's your own issue that you think there's not enough electricity, because there is. Everyone around you is getting electricity, so we're just going to leave them. Because there is, so screw them. And that can sometimes be a frustrating thing in this game, is they are all complaining that there's not enough electricity, but there's literally is. So what do you want me to do with that? Goddamn game. What we will do is we'll get a few. How else can I expand? Because we're not far away from getting what we need. Right. Okay. So we're just going to destroy all these buildings, which is going to decrease the people in the area. Nothing I can do about that. So that number is going to go to minus about 200, I think, there. But they'll rebuild up. And as they're rebuilding, not enough electricity. Not enough electricity, not enough electricity. So they're obviously having that reason for us. There is obviously a reason they are believing that nonsense. So what if I did that? Is that giving you electricity? That's giving you electricity. No, it's not. I think I know why. You lot are not connected to this lot. Right. Now you're getting enough electricity. Yes. It's because this power grid wasn't connected. That's my fault. That was a silly mistake by me. Okay, perfect. So this is nice that this is working. We're so close. We're just going to try and hit our 1300. But I am conscious this episode is now going to be about 30 minutes, which is just a bit longer than I wanted it to be. But we'll see what happens. Have they leveled up? They've leveled up. Upgrade underway. That's my first building to upgrade. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? Right, I think I'm going to have to add a bit more in to hit my target, which is frustrating. And I don't really want to be adding too much more in, especially with all these little junctions here. I could bring this a bit around, you know. Like that. And on this bit, just bring that down into there. And this could be a sort of like a posh person's residence, I guess, here. For the rich. And we will expand a bit more on this, but I think we are going to stop on the corner here. And I think that's a fair thing to do, to stop there. That's just not getting it. Just not getting, now it does. Fantastic. And once we hit that 1300, I'm happy ending the episode there. I am going to pay back this loan, which leaves me with 5,000, but it means that I've still got the loans I can take. We'll have a nice big park here, and we might even bring a park in there, I don't know yet. I can use this little area here, or this area down here, or this area here, and bring in some fishing industry at some point as well, which will be good. We haven't got a demand yet for any more industry, which is good. That's positive. That's what we want. And here we go, guys. We're 4 off, 3 off, 2 off, 1 off, and that's it. We've hit it. So we've hit our tiny town, and that brings so much more, which we will explain next episode. So I'm trying to find a nice backdrop without that. That'll do. Brilliant. Right, thank you so much for stopping by, guys. This has been the first episode of Let's Play City Skylines, and we are well on our way to bringing out a beautiful city. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. If you've got any comments, anything you want me to do, please do leave that and some feedback on the comment section, and I'm really sure to read that. Thanks guys, see you in the next episode.